Hey, what's up, cats and kittens, and shout out to all my Cerebralites. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I'm back with another episode of RealiTEA, and that's TEA because I give it to you scalding hot. So grab your cups, grab your saucers, gather around, and let's all partake in this libation of RealiTEA. But before you go another further, do yourself a favor, and while you're at it, please do me a solid. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, and once you've done that, take another second to hit that tiny little bell so you can turn on your notifications, and that way you'll be kept in the loop. All right, people, so let's talk about the Basketball Wives season reunion. And I'm going to try to be as succinct and as curt as possible, as terse as possible, just because it really was boring if you ask me personally. And if you're here on my channel, I'm assuming you want my personal opinion, so let me give it to you. I thought that the reunion was, it built me up to let me down. You know what I mean? It was anticlimactic. You were expecting a lot of fireworks, and there were firecrackers, but there were no M80s, in my personal opinion. So, let's talk about the style first before we talk about what happened on the show. So stylistically, it's a thumbs down for the entire cast as far as I'm concerned. Now, there were some flashes of brilliance overall, but in totality, I thought stylistically, probably Mark Lamont Hill was probably the best thing to look at on the stage. Malaysia, to me, is always stunning. I don't know why, but I'm just partial to her. I just think that she's absolutely beautiful. And so even though she didn't really turn up the volume to a 10, which we know she's capable of, she was still a solid 7. Jackie. Now, okay. Woosah. Jackie. Now, I love Jackie. I mean, I love her in the way that you love, a mentally ill person who's getting on the bus and they're ranting and talking to themselves, and you look and think to yourself, oh, poor thing. That's sort of the affinity that I have for Jackie. Stylistically, I'm like, I don't know where she was going with this outfit. The wig itself, I'm telling you, this has to be the cheapest wig that I've ever seen in my entire life. The cut was bad. The quality and texture of the hair looked bad. It looks like her forehead was sweating and causing the bang of the wig to stick to her forehead. The wig just looked cheap. It looked like she got it right out of Party City. It looked like, she'd been in a crack house smoking crack and just perspiring, and, it just ran out after doing a bump to come and do the reunion. It just looked bad. And then she was bragging, saying, she spent $35,000 on her outfit or something. I could have done she could have given me $35, and I could have done a thrift store run and would have made her look way better than what she looked like on that stage. So that's a little tough love for Jackie. Now, to me, this is where the surprise came in as far as styling goes. Tammy Roman. She's another person. Absolutely love Tammy. She's always wearing the bonnets. And as far as I'm concerned, she should probably wear bonnets more than she wears hair, because she wears the worst wigs that I think I've ever seen, with the exception of the one that Jackie had on. Tammy's hair is always horrible to me. Now, the interesting thing is that she actually has a hairline. So one would think that if you have a hairline, you would have access to multiple options when it comes to hair, and you would have a team of people around you who knew hair and who knew about hairlines, and I watch videos on YouTube, and these girls pluck wigs out of lace front that look 1,000 times better than the wigs that I've seen Tammy Roman wear. So on this particular reunion, I was shocked to see that she had finally gotten it right. This wig looked amazing on her. I like the color, I like the cut, I like the roots that they tried to do, that the whole effect of the darkened roots to make it look a little bit more natural. I just thought that as far as her hair went, I thought that she really hit the mark this particular time. As far as her overall ensemble goes, not so much. Now let's move to Shawnee. Shawnee had like a shoulder length bob, sort of the one length bob, and it was, I don't know, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. It was just sort of ho-hum. It was nothing to, and that's sort of Shawnee's sweet spot, if you ask me. Like, when it comes to style, Shawnee to me is not a hit or a miss. She's just sort of right there in the middle, where you're going to probably love some of the things that she wears, or at the very least like some of the things, and then there's some things that you may not think, oh, that's not my taste, but I can see why someone would want to wear that. So Shawnee was just sort of ho-hum once again. And then let's move to Evelyn. Now, to me, when it comes to style, on the show, Evelyn is the one to beat. Evelyn is always on point to me. I mean, makeup, hair, ensemble, accessories. I mean, Evelyn is the complete package. She's usually done head to toe. And when it comes to this reunion, I'm not going to say that she looked horrible, but to me, she could have turned the volume from a 7 to a 10, but I would give her probably maybe a 6 to a 7 as far as her styling goes. But I didn't love or hate it, but I just, she sets the bar so high that, for instance, if Tammy would have worn what Evelyn had on, I would probably be ranting and raving about how amazing Tammy looked, because my expectations for her aren't very high. But when it comes to Evelyn, I expect a lot more from her. And to me, she really didn't deliver. Even though she still looked beautiful, she wasn't just, what I was hoping to see. So let's talk about the show. There was not a lot really that happened, or not a lot that we didn't expect. There was a little bit of tension between Evelyn and Tammy. There was tons of tension between Jackie and Shawnee, as well as Jackie and Evelyn. I'm going to say this really quick about this whole daughter situation between Jackie and her daughter, and Evelyn and Jackie's daughter. I don't understand how Evelyn could have the unmitigated gall to sit on TV, to jump across the table and try to fight Jen, to talk about, her sexual exploits on TV, to, just, I mean, she's done some of the most ratchet things that you could possibly think of on TV in terms of setting an example for her children, that it just seems a little sort of contradictory and hypocritical to me for her to be sitting in judgment of Jackie's motherhood as if she were Claire Huxtable, which she is not. Now, we're not giving Jackie a pass because, I feel like this. If Jackie's daughter is making these allegations against her, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm sure that Jackie was probably, in some instances, not the best mother. But I don't think even the best mother is the best mother every single day. Moms have their good days and their bad days just like everyone else. You know what I mean? I think my mom is probably one of the sweetest, most loving, caring persons that you could ever hope to meet. But could she, take it there if the situation called for it? Absolutely. I grew up in the day and age of spankings, and we didn't even call them spankings. We called them whoopings. So I grew up in the day and age of whoopings. We got whoopings. When we stepped out of line, you got a whooping. You know what I mean? And by today's standard, my mom would be an abusive parent. Now, I look back on those lessons that my mom taught me and realized that she made me the woman that I am today. Now, to some people that may be cruel, and to some people they may think that that's just a part of parenting. So I think that sometimes when it comes to abuse and the abuse of a child, it's really relative or subjective. It depends on you and your perspective and where you come from. So for me personally, that's why I think it's important to stay out of other people's business, because maybe Jackie was a little stern with her daughter, but that doesn't necessarily mean that just because she was tough, that it wasn't tough love. And so it's a little shady to me to see Evelyn and all these other women sort of ganging up and sort of having this sort of mob mentality against Jackie and her parenting, because that's the one that you guys want to use as a punching bag this season. And the interesting thing about the dynamic on these reality shows is that every dog has their day. Today is Jackie, tomorrow is Jen. The next day it'll be Tammy, the following day, you know what I mean? So, the paradigm is constantly shifting. So don't get too comfortable with singling out someone else, because ultimately it's going to come a day and time, Jen in particular, when, you might have another drink thrown in your face by your significant other. So I just really wanted to say that, because it's bothering me so much watching these episodes and watching these women really sit in judgment of Jackie. And like I said, I don't give Jackie a pass, but it's just like, at the end of the day, it's not my business. Takari, Jackie's daughter, is a grown woman. This is not a child that we're talking about. We're talking about a woman who is knocking on the door of 30. You know what I mean? So this is not a baby. She's capable of getting out, working, taking care of herself, taking care of her child, the children that she's created. And so how Jackie is beholden to be responsible for her daughter, her daughter's son being burned is beyond me. So I don't understand that. Now they did call Jackie out for not remembering her grandson's birthday, which I thought was another shady thing, because I'm one of those people. I'm not a date person. I don't remember dates, birthdays, anniversaries, that sort of thing. Thank goodness for smartphones, because now I can program dates into my phone. But if you were just to ask me to remember them independently without the assistance of technology, I would get a failing grade every single time. So I thought that it was a little shady on the part of the host of this reunion to call Jackie out or to put her on the spot about not knowing her grandson's birthday, especially when they have an estranged relationship. Because, you know, people always put this really big sort of emphasis on family. But excuse my French, but family will fuck you over too. Let us be clear. Mother, daughter, sister, brother, the people closest to you are very often the people who have the most power to hurt you. And sometimes just because you're related to a person by blood doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the best relationship with them. Sometimes, your family can be the most hostile people, the people who the most predatory people in your life, because they know what buttons to push. They know how to sort of access your emotions in a way that the average person wouldn't. And so they can manipulate you and do things that the average person wouldn't be able to do. So I'm gonna stop there, because I promise you guys this was gonna be a short review, so I don't want to keep going on that diatribe. So in closing, I'm just gonna pretty much stop here. It wasn't a very interesting overall reunion. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the new season. They're also introducing this new show called Baller Wives, which I probably won't be tuning into for the same reasons I can't watch Love and Hip Hop anymore. It's just like, at this point, these series are more like telenovela or poorly written sitcoms to me. Like, it's an insult to my intelligence to even watch most of this. So yeah. And that concludes this episode. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and please share if you feel so inclined. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Also remember, it is better to be pissed off than it is to be pissed on. And as always, in closing, people, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva. I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day, and as always, thank you for listening.